your girl Coco Kinsey, and it is Coco Wednesdays, and we finally got a verdict in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. It has been a long one. It has been triggering. It has been a lot of things. So if you saw my last video, then I think you have an idea of how I feel. But to actually have the verdict come in, I'm excited, but I'm not excited in the sense because I know there are a lot of Johnny Depp fans who are just... Now, am I a Johnny Depp fan? I love his work. I do. I would be lying if I said I didn't. But also, as a victim of DV, I can also acknowledge that I have been abused by a very talented or some very talented people. I am able to separate the two. And if you saw my last video, then you know that my biggest concern was, and not just in this case, well beyond this case, is the ability in society for us to just group think and to just go along with things and take them as face value because society almost has made us feel like we have to. We don't. There are so many movements. There's hashtag this, hashtag that, and people, we talk about gaslighting, but we don't talk about the other side where people are gaslighting you in another sense or bullying you to believe and go along with their opinion and you feel blamed or you feel bad if you say anything of the sort. Like if you say that, I don't know, or, her story doesn't seem believable. I mean, you were like crucified because it sounds horrible to go against a woman who is making these claims. But this is why I'm so glad the case went the way it did, even with her getting some damages back as well. Now, obviously, he won in totality while she did not, but it just states that what it does is it shows that regardless on anybody or whomever on either side, that you will not be allowed in your bitterness to be malicious and call that something that it's not. And for Amber Heard, it was so triggering to me. And again, I do not know her story. I cannot say I cannot say in truth that I know everything that she said was not true or not. But I do know that it didn't seem credible. And at times, she seemed combative. She seemed aggressive. It just didn't seem like someone who had been a victim. Now, granted, there is not a template that says, oh, you've been through this, you have to be this way. But being able to be honest, I think even if she had gone through some of these things, if she could have at least stopped to pause and acknowledge some of her doing in the situation, I think it would have worked out much better for her. Because you have to acknowledge, because we see you on tape, like we hear you, and it's just like she was going to ride that lie all the way to the bank, and it didn't work out. But this gives new voice to men, which I'm excited for. Like, I celebrate all humans. I am a woman. I love my femininity. I celebrate women. I'm about women empowerment, but I'm not about lying. And I'm also about equal rights for everyone. And I feel like men have been left off the table for so long when it comes to being victims of this. I know several friends who have been through situations, but and not even thinking to go to the police or go and move forward, because we have also been in a society for as much of where women and their claims have been ignored, but they have been a lot of times more accepted or willing to be heard more than that of a man. Like, because if a man says he's beaten, then a lot of times we'll call him a punk or worse. And so this will give hopefully voices to more men to speak out. And even if you don't speak out, to leave. And no, you don't have to accept this and sit in these kind of toxic relationships, because whatever side you agree with or fall on, what we can all agree and see was this was a toxic relationship. And when it goes when it goes just without help, without assistance or getting better, then this is what it can become. This is what it can become when you choose not to walk away. And in turn, both parties, even though Johnny has won this case, and in a sense, I think he has cleared his name in a lot of ways, or some stuff, I don't know if there's any coming back from. I don't even know if he would want to go back to, like, well, I think he said he wasn't willing to go back to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise because I would feel some type of way if someone dropped me without proof, without even letting me go through just due, getting, so, and obviously Amber Heard's credibility, I think people would be scared to work with her. Because you don't know, at what point, and granted, I think hopefully, any sane person, I think, will have learned a lot from this. But unfortunately, sometimes we just burn too many bridges. And in Hollywood, we know how that goes. Like, I can't afford for whatever you got going on, like, especially when it seems like your word, like, you don't seem to stand for a whole lot. I don't know. And granted, you never know. She may bounce back and be able to find something. But what I do hope that both of them do is be able to move on. If she does talk about it, I just hope that she learns from it and talks about it in truth, without just talking about it from a place of not just putting the blame on one person. And there are times where there are men, women who are just that way, and wholeheartedly that is it. There's nothing else to it. But we heard you on tape, sweetie. We heard you. We doggone near saw it. So just, even though, and this is not to condone that, because in one of my situations, I certainly know I was not a dainty butterfly, but what happened to me, I didn't deserve. I can tell you that. So in saying that, just acknowledging truth. But ultimately, what I would tell her is just let it go, leave it be, move on with your life. And, just take this as an opportunity for growth. Johnny, same thing. Take it as an opportunity for growth. Move on from it. And if he really wanted to become a voice in some way, I think that could be awesome. But if he chose to move on, totally fine as well. But like I said, I just, this trial for me, in a sense, period, whether either one of them choose to talk about it again or not, I really do hope moving forward that it sets a precedent that this kind of behavior will no longer be accepted. Tit for tat, going back and forth, trying to ruin people. It can't be. It's too dangerous, and it's not new. They are not the first to do it. They won't be the last. But I hope that it at least awakens something in our society where we at least stop and pause again. And I'm talking about us, the people who are in the situations, those that are in the situation. Stop and pause and think: is this healthy? What can I lose from this? Is it worth it? And then for us as friends, as people looking on the outside in, I guess when you do talk about public figures, before we make opinions and jump on bandwagons, ensure that we have all the facts, ensure that we know, because we can support people without stripping away at the character of somebody else. We can still be that supportive person or supportive people without, again, like defaming somebody else, because the facts have to come out. And so that's all I really got for this. Because I just think the case is what it is. It's done. I think there's going to be a lot of opinions. There's going to be a lot of fans on both sides. And I just hope as society we take a moment to just, again, as I always say every week, like, take a step back, reflect, learn from it, grow from it. And that's what we can do, right? So I will see you guys next week. Thanks for my TED Talk. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. And I can't wait to chat with you guys next week.